Hello and welcome to the edition of Bureaucrats India webinar. I'm extremely happy to have Honorable Minister Dr. Ram Das Thawale, Minister of State for Social Justice and Empowerment, and an illustrious politician that India is so proud of. As a chief guest, we also have a distinguished panelist comprising Sri S.B. Prasad, director and co-founder of Aritra Group, Sri Prashant Jain, who is the CEO, very young CEO of Oswal Books, having worked in the education sector. And we shall also be soon joined by Professor Anu Singh Lathar, Vice Chancellor of Ambedkar University, Delhi. My name is Navneet Anand, and I'm pleased to welcome you all in this webinar on CSR and empowerment and lessons from COVID-19. And who better to guide us than Honorable Minister, Minister of State for Social Justice and Empowerment. He needs no introduction. कौन नहीं जानता इनको, but 90 से लेकर और आज तक एक्टिव पॉलिटिशियन और पूरे देश में एक अपनी नई पहचान बनाने वाले 5 बार 5-time parliamentarian, 2-time minister, also has been a minister in Maharashtra. Thank you very much, sir. On behalf of the panelists and Bureaucrats India, you are welcome. So we shall begin with Sri S.B. Prasad, a veteran of the petroleum sector, sir. Yeah. And he started a new venture in the energy sector. Also lives in Maharashtra. He knows Marathi. He was very excited that I will talk to sir in Marathi. So over to you, Mr. Prasad.
Thank you, Navneet. Good evening, sir. Good evening, Honorable Minister for Social Justice and Empowerment, Dr. Ram Das Thawale, sir, and my co-panelists and all the viewers. It's indeed a pleasure to, in the today's time, sit with such an illustrious person like Dr. Thawale. And as you rightly said, Navneet, who doesn't know him? His popular slogan is still very much in our ears, and we are waiting for this corona to go. So that will always be remembered by everyone. Well, on the subject, before I get into the topic, the brief introduction, I have been with the oil industry for almost 40 years. I started with Bharat Petroleum for almost 13 years, worked with Reliance, Essar, Caltex, and then I spent 7 years in Africa. And I also worked for 3 years in UK, where I had the pleasure of establishing an Indian brand petrol station of Essar in UK. So that's brief about me. On the subject, how corporates have a vital role to play in crises like COVID-19. I mean, we all know this is the worst crisis we have faced in our lifetime. And we pray God that we get out of it soon and never face such a calamity in future. As we all know that Indian corporates have always played a major role in various humanitarian efforts in the past, and the legislation of Section 135 made it imperative by law to spend 2% of the profits of companies having a net worth of 500 crores or a turnover of 1,000 crores or a minimum profit of 5 crores. But that was the definition on CSR. But the government was very, very quick on amending. The Ministry of Corporate Affairs was very quick to clarify that spending of CSR funds for COVID-19 shall be considered as an eligible CSR activity. And this was done on 23rd of March itself. Now, this created a win-win situation for the companies having CSR obligation, who contributed to the relief work, while also meeting the statutory requirement under the Companies Act at the same time. The response to the government's call was overwhelming, and we all know that hundreds of crores were donated to the PM CARES Fund as the first step by many large corporates. And as I understand that within 2 months, PM CARES Fund had received more than 10,000 crores from various corporates and other bodies. Now, apart from this fund's contribution, the corporates also got engaged into various government agencies, with various government agencies, and have supported tremendously. Now, the problem is this type of problem was never faced by us. So it took us quite some time to find out what is the real help needed. And as we went along, because if you recollect in the first month or so, we had few thousands, few hundreds of cases in the country. Zyadatar, 1,000, 500, but then come April, come May, and we found that it started multiplying. By then, the corporates also got engaged and they started providing a lot of hospital space and beds in few thousands, a lot of PPEs, ventilators, etc. for COVID workers, millions of food and shelter for badly affected people, and a lot of company got into awareness campaign. Now, awareness campaign may not be very tangible, but it made a big difference when they started spreading the message of social distancing and hygiene. So corporates went on doing a lot of things. Now, many manufacturing companies also provided a lot of relief to the community in their vicinity, depending upon the need and requirements. Now, this surely created a lot of goodwill for the company, and it has given an opportunity to the corporates to show a human face. Now, on one hand, we are investing into a lot of relief, but it is also going to give a very long-term benefit. But let us not forget that in such times, even the corporates themselves are also affected. But that's a very short term. The smaller industries have suffered a lot. The larger ones have suffered, but they have the resilience to come back. But considering the magnitude of the crisis, I think a lot needs to be done. Because every day is a new day. No one had faced such crisis in our lifetime. So we really don't know where this is going to take us. Still we get a vaccine which comes as soon as possible. That's all our dream. While the government has a lot of agencies to work, but they're also facing a challenge on execution. Now, choosing the right NGO, like the Rotary clubs, very credible. There are a lot of many other credible agencies. I'm a Rotarian, so I would certainly say that Rotary is a very credible agency, and we are doing a lot. So we collaborate, such agencies collaborate with the corporates and try and expand the reach, because corporates on their own can't do much. So there is a need for a lot of credible NGOs who can spread, because corporates have the money, but sometimes the money cannot reach the right people. So this is where the corporates work very closely with government, the NGOs, and the various other agencies to ensure that the relief reaches the right people. Now, all of us know that the magnitude of this crisis is yet to be known. We keep only hearing about 20 lakh cases, 10 lakh cases, 60,000 being added every day. But we really don't know where it is going to reach. This is just a number, but the effect is far, much more than what these numbers tell us. So there is a huge challenge for everyone. And this is where the corporates would surely come to join hands with the government and do their best. Now, unlike all major calamities like floods, drought, cyclone, earthquake, the damage is visible and can be quantified. We come and say that 5,000 acres of the seeds could not be sowed, so this is the damage, 10,000 crores or 5,000 crores. But in this pandemic, the biggest challenge is the damage is invisible. Deaths can be counted, but there is a much bigger damage, which is economic damage. People having a problem on food, shelter, etc. So it will be a big challenge post the pandemic. I'm assuming that, yes, I'm very positive. Once we have the vaccine, this pandemic is going to come to an end. And but the challenge will be post the pandemic, and hence I would say the role of corporate and the government partnership would become even bigger, and will go in a very long way to bring normalcy and economic growth. Hence, government would continue to work, corporates would continue, but I think it is the responsibility of each and every citizen to give their best. And the easiest way to do is social distancing and hygiene at all times. I do travel off and on due to my business, and I was quite amazed to see the type of hygiene even on roadside places. There's one thing which has done, a very tough situation has done good, is brought in a lot of hygiene at every level, even in the villages I have seen. I traveled to a few villages last week, and I was quite shocked to see that people are very conscious. And I think if people become conscious, this whole effort of government and the corporates would surely, help us bring down this calamity as soon as possible. So that's my bit on this
Right.
very vital subject. And over to
Yes,
you,
sir.
Navdeep. Thanks.
So, Honorable Minister, because we got a little late in setting up, he has another schedule. So I'll request Prashant ji to speak, and then Honorable Minister, sir. If you can quickly put across your viewpoint, Prashant ji, and then Honorable
Sure.
like to share.
Namaskar, Honorable Minister, and Navneet ji, thank you so much for having me. Namaste, Dr. Prasad. So, very rightly put by Mr. Prasad, a lot of companies, helped in a lot of ways during the COVID crisis. What was also seen was, small businesses and individuals, coming out and helping for 1 month, for 50 days, 60 days, providing food, shelter, water, transportation, arranging buses. So it showed a very different picture of our country. This was a disaster that no one could ever imagine. And the whole country came together, no matter individuals, small businesses, large companies, everyone tried to do their bit. I think what a lot of other companies are also doing is, even though they have loss of business, they are trying to hold on to the people that work for them. I think that is also, in a way, service to the nation. If you are not letting go people unnecessarily, that is also a very big thing. एक चीज जो बहुत लोग तो हमारे देश में करते हैं, कुछ लोग जो ये समझ सकते हैं कि कोई भी एक बिजनेस का रोल सिर्फ प्रॉफिट जनरेट करना नहीं होता, और जिस कम्युनिटी में वो बिजनेस होता है वो भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेक होल्डर होते हैं. तो अगर हम उस कम्युनिटी के लिए कुछ कर रहे हैं, वो एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होता है बिजनेस का. प्रॉफिट जनरेशन है ही, शेयर होल्डर वैल्यू अप्रिशिएट करनी है, पर गिविंग बैक टू द कम्युनिटी वेर यू ऑपरेट is a very, very important function of any business, no matter how big or how small. Government कहती है आपका प्रॉफिट 5 करोड़ से ऊपर हो तब आपको CSR करना है, बट वाई, दिस शुड कम फ्रॉम विद इन. हमारे देश में जितनी रिलीजन्स हैं, हर रिलीजन में गिविंग बैक टू द सोसाइटी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मैसेज है. So if we take it up as an important role of all of our businesses, this country can be transformed very, very soon. That is all I have to say, and now I look forward to listening to Dr. Athawale.
कुछ बताना चाहेंगे प्रशांत जी, आप लोगों ने क्या किया? ओसवाल बुक्स सर, आगरा बेस्ड, बहुत इनका बुक्स पूरे देश में बच्चे पढ़ते हैं चारों तरफ, और इन्होंने काफी यंग है, इन्होंने अपने फादर, उनके दादाजी से एक्वायर किया बिजनेस, और 2500% ग्रोथ किया, बिकॉज टुडे हिज बुक्स आर वेरी वेरी पॉपुलर अक्रॉस द कंट्री, इंक्लूडिंग इन महाराष्ट्र सर. तो आप कुछ बताना चाहेंगे प्रशांत जी, आपने और क्या क्या किया माननीय मंत्री?
जी, हम लोग आगरा में बेस्ड हैं. सॉरी, हम लोग आगरा में बेस्ड हैं. सॉरी, आई कुड नॉट हियर यू. नवनीत जी, दोबारा बोलेंगे?
तो लोग लौट रहे थे, उनको खाना खिलाया, ऐसे भी आपके फादर श्री जैन खाना खिलाते वो रहते हैं जी.
हाँ जी,
साल भर का आपका चलता है.
सो माय यंगर डॉटर वाज बोर्न 3 years ago. तो तब जब वो हुई थी, हमने डिसाइड किया था हम कोई पार्टी नहीं करेंगे, एंड हमने एक ढाबा शुरू किया था जहाँ पे रोज करीब 200-300 लोग खाना खाते हैं. तो वो हम लोग प्रोवाइड कराते हैं, एंड वी फेल्ट रियली नाइस. आप एक पार्टी करते हैं और आप लाखों रुपए खर्च कर देते हैं जिसकी कोई वैल्यू नहीं है, but every day you are helping some 100, 200, 300 people. I think that makes us feel much better. जब ये लॉकडाउन लगा 22 मार्च को, तो वो हमारा ढाबा भी बंद करना पड़ा, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली सड़कों पे लोग नहीं थे. बट उसके 2-4 दिन बाद देखा गया, बिकॉज वी आर बेस्ड ऑन MG रोड, हजारों में लोगों ने आगरा को क्रॉस करना चालू किया, एंड दैट इज व्हेन वी थॉट कि दिस इज द राइट टाइम. तो हम लोगों ने फिर कुक्ड फूड, फ्रूट्स, ड्रिंक्स, शूज, जो जो हमें नीड मालूम पड़ती जा रही थी वो हम लोगों को अवेलेबल कराते जा रहे थे. तो वी डिड दैट फॉर अराउंड 40-45 days. उसके बाद फिर माइग्रेंट्स का movement बंद हो गया था. So yes, and we thank God for making us capable of helping in small ways where we can. That is all, Navneet ji.
Yeah, Namneet ji, I mean, we followed something very similar in our station, and we facilitated a lot of efforts from our stations. So I think everyone has done their bit in this tough time. The country rose to the occasion, I would say.
We are also extremely pleased. We had introduced you, ma'am. We have with us Professor Anu Singh Lathar, an accomplished academician, a Vice Chancellor of Ambedkar University, a role model for many of us who come from an academic background. Many of my juniors who work in from JNU sir, जो इनके साथ काम करते हैं, बहुत तारीफ करते हैं कैसे एक from coming from a management background, she has transformed Ambedkar University. और
नमस्कार.
तो मैम आप Mr. Prasad from Aritra Group and Mr. Prashant Jain from Oswal Books, they have spoken. Honorable Minister desires that आप भी बोल लें, then he will put his final words.
जी. अच्छा, सबकी टर्न हो गई है?
जी जी.
मैं शुरू करती हूँ. In fact, the topic which you chose is so important, so relevant, and so useful actually. When we talk about the corporate social responsibility, we are actually confining ourselves into the very narrow definition of the social responsibility. We are expecting only the corporations and enterprises and people who are rich and wealthy should be contributing. And that emphasis itself is very limited to few people in society. In fact, social responsibility is everyone's way of life, should be everyone's way of life. In fact, it should not only be in the DNA of the corporations and enterprises and the business houses, but also in the DNA of all of us. Why should it be confined only to the corporations? So I feel that social responsibility comes from the very fact that when we believe that we need to contribute to our societal framework in some form or the other, even the underprivileged section of society, the middle class of society, the rich and not so rich, the literate, educated, illiterate, everybody has something to contribute to society. So the definition of social responsibility should not be confined only to the corporations. That's what I believe. It should be in the DNA of every human nature, everyone, all of us here. In fact, the concept of corporate social responsibility, so-called, in the form of the social responsibility in our society, goes back to ages when we look back. Chanakya, in his Arthashastra, had reiterated it on so many ways that what should be the dharma and karma of people in society, the dharma and the karma of people. राजा का धर्म क्या होना चाहिए और उसका कर्म क्या होना चाहिए, प्रजा का धर्म क्या होना चाहिए, उसका कर्म क्या होना चाहिए, बेटे का धर्म क्या होना चाहिए, उसका कर्म क्या होना चाहिए. ये जो धर्म की बात हम लोग करते थे, this was all to do with the social responsibility of everyone and everyone's responsibility in contributing to defining the philosophy of living itself. So CSR is an incomplete definition of the living philosophy of social responsibility. It should actually be social responsibility in a broader sense of the term. When we talk about the corporations, in fact, when Mahatma Gandhi spoke about the trusteeship concept, he said that every enterprise, every business enterprise should behave like a trust. And while he said that they should behave like a trust, everyone, which included the customers, which included the government, which included the public and community and the locals where the people were employed for employment, it is the responsibility of the enterprise to involve everyone in their role. So that the trusteeship concept was that every organization and the management should believe that they are the trustees, and it is the trust in which they run their own enterprise. So Mahatma Gandhi gave a very broad view of the very DNA of an organization, where social responsibility was the core theme of the enterprise's role in society. So I think we have other members here who come from the business background. The commercial definition have evolved with time, over time, but then the core philosophy remains the same. The corporations have taken up the responsibility. The business houses particularly, they have been very responsible, and the concept evolved, and now we find that people from the business houses have done remarkable job during the COVID times, and not the COVID times also, before the COVID times, and I am sure they will continue to be contributing the post pandemic time too. But societally, I think people are now quite aware, enlightened, that we need to contribute. We must give back to society from where we take so much. As a professor in a university, I always feel that while we teach the CSR, social responsibility, to our students in the classroom, we are being very theoretical about what we teach them. I think in the new education policy, where pedagogy is also going to change, we must sensitize our younger generation in the universities and colleges and the schools about how should they be giving back to society. And this kind of uh, the subject matter and the teaching material and content will come from people who are actually contributing, जिन्होंने समाज में दिया ही नहीं वापस, वो ना ही इस चीज के पैशन को, ना इस भावना को, ना इस सेटिस्फैक्शन को समझ पाते हैं कि देने से कितनी खुशी मिलती है और देने से क्या होता है, ये तो वही बता सकते हैं जो बहुत देते हैं. So they are the real examples, and their case study should be taught to our students also. As far as corporations go, we know that Tatas have been the great example, and I needn't reiterate when the times where when labor welfare was only a far cry, and the workforce was fighting for its own rights. Tatas had given the labor laws, and in 1917, and the enforcement through law came only in 1948. Same way, the maternity benefit was given through as a employee welfare measure way back by Tatas, and it was enforced as a law only in 1946. So you can well imagine that social responsibility is not about only contributing in terms of the cash or in terms of kind. It's also in terms of the policy framework, in terms of how sensitive we become to each and every stakeholder of the organization. So there, I feel that we must all learn. Yeah.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so much, ma'am, for bringing in diverse perspective from the corporate to what we need to do as a society. Why should corporate social responsibility be so overemphasized? It should be balanced along with that. I can tell you, Mr. Prasad from Aritra Group, and sir, he is going to set up a series of petrol pumps two are already there in Maharashtra. What he has done, one of his co-founders, Mr. Rakesh Kumar, they have got all those who are working on the petrol from his native village. So there is so much of trust, bonding, and of course that the kind of social work that is. He says that it's my duty to give back to the society. Yes, sir. Now I request Honorable Minister to share his observations. He has been very patiently listening, and we need his blessings and guidance. And once again, I thank him for joining this, Manya Mantri.
Today, I am very happy to participate in the webinar. The webinar is organized by Bureaucrats India. And this webinar is conducting Dr. Navneet Anand. And today, Professor Anushri Lathar, who is the Vice Chancellor of Ambedkar Vishwavidyalaya, Delhi. And I am also very proud about Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. Because I am the follower of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar.
Yes, sir.
I am running the party, which party was started by Babasaheb Ambedkar, Republican Party of India. I was 3 times in Lok Sabha, elected in Lok Sabha, and 2 times in Rajya Sabha. In Maharashtra government, I was the Social Welfare Minister, Social Welfare, Transport, Provision, Propaganda, and Employment Guarantee Scheme. I was having 4 portfolios in Maharashtra, and I was the Cabinet Minister in Sharad Pawar's cabinet. And when I was a student, I was studying in Siddhartha College of Arts and Science. I am the student of arts, and when I was a student, that time I was working and I was running the Dalit Panthers of India. Dalit Panthers of India is the organization, which organization is opposing the atrocities on Dalit and Adivasis and women. We don't want atrocity on anybody. And therefore, we started Dalit Panthers movement. Dalit Panthers movement was Ambedkarite movement. Dalit Panther movement was not Naxalite movement. Dalit Panther movement was not Maowadi movement. Dalit Panthers movement was Ambedkarite movement. And Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was a very great man. He is a very strong man. He worked for the Dalit peoples and high caste peoples also. He worked for farmers, Dalit, Adivasi, Brahmin peoples.
He did.
आगे सर सेटअप बना रहे हैं, उनको भी 10 मिनट लगेगा अपना सेटअप।
ठीक है, उधर चल रहा है तो बीच में मतलब
ठीक
डिस्टर्ब होता है ना
जी।
And that was the history that Babasaheb Ambedkar was written the Constitution, Indian Constitution. Not only Babasaheb Ambedkar, but Babasaheb Ambedkar was the chairman of drafting committee. And when 26 November 1949, Babasaheb Ambedkar was given the draft of the Constitution to Dr. Rajendra Prasad and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. At that time, they told Dr. Ambedkar, really, you are the you are very responsible for the Constitution, and therefore this is a history. But today's subject is the CSR fund and CSR
empowerment.
Yeah, CSR and empowerment. And this COVID was very dangerous. The corona came from China, and corona went all over the world. Near about 190 countries are affected. And now there are many cases. Now in COVID, India is now number 3. One number is America, US. Second number is Brazil. And third number is India. Because near about 27 lakh cases, 26 lakh cases we cross now. And in this COVID period, the CSR fund many companies. Mr. S. B. Prasad is a Nideshak and
Co-founder.
founder
Director
of,
and co-founder.
Director and
Co-founder.
co-founder
Aritra.
Aritra Group. And he said today in his speech that CSR fund is near about 7,000 crore in all over India. And every company, the company is from the government of India, state government, private company, big company. There is the order of the government of India that 2% money should be expended. The benefit, in the benefit, near about 2% money should be expended for poor people, for any development, and this COVID time. Many companies were supported the poor people, the laborers, the farmers, women, youth. Means many companies were supported. And now our Prime Minister, Honorable Narendra Modi, announced that Atmanirbhar Bharat. क्या इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हैं?
Self-reliant.
Atmanirbhar India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. And now we are opposing the China because China is a dangerous country. China is also trying to come inside of India's border, but we can't allow to China. You know that in Ladakh, China tried to come inside, but our army forcefully opposed them, and our 20 army peoples were murdered there by the Chinese army. But our army also attacked China's army. China is not showing how many people will die at that time. But therefore, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi on 15th August 2020 on Lal Killa announced that we want Atmanirbhar Bharat. Import and export many products we are importing from China, from other countries. But now we will decide. We will be come on our feet, and all the companies will start in India. That is also a very good announcement. And our Prime Minister in the beginning, when on 22nd March, he announced Janata Curfew that day. And then on 23rd March, he sanitized the parliament session. And on 24th evening, he announced the lockdown from 24th March to 14th April. But the corona cases are increasing. Corona cases are not stopped, means every day. 50,000, 55,000, 60,000, 65,000 every day. In Delhi, cases are coming down. In Mumbai, cases are coming down. But in Maharashtra, Pune is number one. Because Mumbai is also a very big city, comparatively Pune. But in Pune, the major cases are in Pune now. But now in this time, the bureaucrats, I know that. Without bureaucrats, we can't run the country. We can't develop our country because bureaucrats are very important people. They are IPS, IAS, IRS, IFS, and many the scholar students are also giving the examination of UPSC, and they are going to become the additional collector, additional SP, means like this. And therefore, I congratulate all the bureaucrats. The bureaucrats of India are very important people. Therefore, today you organize this Bureaucrats India, this webinar, and our Prashant Jain, who is the CEO of Oswal, and I heard his name. I heard the S.D. Prasad name. I know Professor Anuj Lathar, because he is the Vice Chancellor of Ambedkar University. And I know the Navneet Anand also. His name is Anand. But we want the Anand in all over India. We want to finish the Corona, COVID. And on 20 February 2020, near Gate of India, in front of Taj Mahal Hotel in Mumbai, there was one march, candle march, and with me in Mumbai, the ambassador of China was also with me. And that time I have given the slogan, "Go Corona, go Corona, Corona, go, Corona, go." And this slogan was very popular in all over the world. Everybody was saying that, "Go Corona, go Corona." But now my slogan is, "No Corona, no Corona, Corona, no, Corona, no." This is my slogan now. And today I am also very happy to participate in this important webinar. And always I am respecting the bureaucrats, because I was the cabinet minister in Maharashtra also. And always I was cooperating the bureaucrats, and then bureaucrats were also cooperating me. Therefore, I am not going to take over more time.
Private companies have played a very good role.
अच्छा काम किया है, और मुझे याद है कि पूरे देश भर में मतलब जो कंपनीज है, इन्होंने कोविड का सामना करने के लिए लोगों को बहुत बड़ी सहायता दी है। तो सभी कंपनियों का मैं हार्दिक आभारी करता हूँ, और हम आपके साथ रहेंगे एज ए सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट स्टेट मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया, मिनिस्टर ऑफ मीन्स फ्रॉम द रिपब्लिकन पार्टी ऑफ इंडिया. I was second time became the minister in Narendra Modi's government. My party is not having one single member of parliament in Lok Sabha, but Narendra Modi has given me second time Rajya Sabha and second time Minister Sibalsu. And state minister is all right. My party is not having 1, 2, 3, 4 MP. And Narendra Modi respect me. Narendra Modi, when I speak in the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Narendra Modi is also laughing. And without me, anybody can't give the chance to love Narendra Modi ji. Because many times I spoke in Lok Sabha, in Rajya Sabha, and therefore I am not going to take over more time. Again, आप जाने जाते हैं आप इस नाम से जाने जाते हैं बुक ओसवाल. आप इस नाम से जाने जाते हैं बुक ओसवाल, लेकिन कोविड में हमारा हो गया है बेहाल. हम चलेंगे कोरोना के खिलाफ साल, हम चलेंगे कोरोना के खिलाफ साल, हम तोड़ देंगे कोरोना के बाल. हम चलेंगे कोरोना के खिलाफ साल, हम तोड़ देंगे कोरोना के बाल, हम फैला देंगे कोरोना पर जाल. हम फैला देंगे कोरोना पर जाल, क्योंकि हमारे साथ है
सवाल. अरे वाह,
ठीक है. तो ये मुझे आदत है, बैठे बैठे मैं मुझे लिखते रहता हूँ. उनकी बात तो आपके बीच में मुझे आने का मौका मिला, और मुझे 5-6 दिन पहले इनविटेशन मिला था आनंद जी के माध्यम से, और फिर एक बार मैं आपका धन्यवाद करता हूँ. और जब भी कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा तो मेरी मिनिस्ट्री सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट है. मेरे मिनिस्ट्री के अंदर मतलब शेड्यूल कास्ट के लोग आते हैं, घुमांतु लोग आते हैं, ओबीसी लोग आते हैं, ओल्ड एज के लोग आते हैं, दिव्यांगजन लोग आते हैं, अनाथ लोग आते हैं. तो ऐसे सभी लोगों का कम से कम 80-85% लोगों का मेरा मंत्रालय है. और इसीलिए मतलब सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट हर एक एम्पावरमेंट बढ़ाने के लिए मेरे मिनिस्ट्री का इस साल का बजट 85,000 करोड़ का है, और हमारे दिव्यांग जनों का बजट 9,500 करोड़ का है। और इसी तरह मतलब हमारा हर साल बजट बढ़ते रहता है और हम लोगों के लिए मदद करते हैं। तो कभी भी जरूरत होगी तो आप मुझे मेरे से संपर्क कर सकते हैं हमारे आनंद जी के माध्यम से। तो फिर एक बार आपका धन्यवाद करता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच। जय भीम, जय भारत, जय
जय हिंद,
जय जय बंधुरा फ्रेंड्स।
कुछ कहना चाहेंगे प्रशांत जी आप?
नहीं जी, थैंक यू सो मच, इतनी सुंदर
बढ़िया। प्रसाद सर, you want to tell quickly 2 minutes what you're doing in Maharashtra सर के लिए बताइए। वहाँ पे जो आप कार।
हाँ सर, हम लोग काफी रूरल एरियाज में भी फ्यूल स्टेशन लगा रहे हैं, वहाँ लोकल एम्प्लॉयमेंट करते हैं। एंड काफी इस कोविड टाइम में कई जगह हमने काफी रिलीफ अपने स्टेशन से काफी रिलीफ पहुंचाया है। और जहाँ जहाँ असम में है, महाराष्ट्र में है, तो ये है कि बहुत कठिन टाइम है। जहाँ तक हो सकता है, जैसे मैडम ने कहा कि CSR कोई सिर्फ कॉर्पोरेट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है, हर इंडिविजुअल की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है। जहाँ तक मैं समझता हूँ कि हम जो अपना काम करते हैं, एक सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग ही कर लें और हाइजीन कर लें, तो ये देश की तरफ ये बहुत बड़ी कंट्रीब्यूशन होगी। वन अफेक्टेड पर्सन कैन अफेक्ट सो मेनी। अगर हम अपने आप को बचा लें, इससे बड़ा योगदान देश के लिए कुछ नहीं होगा इस वक्त ऐसी घड़ी पर। तो मेरा यही मानना है। और सर आपने बहुत अच्छा कहा, और आपकी कविता तो सुन के बहुत मजा आ जाता है, और आप इंस्टेंट लिख देते हैं।
हाँ, बैठे बैठे सर।
कभी मिलो अपन मुंबई भी मिलेंगे, आप भी
जरूर सर।
मैम, you want to perhaps extend an invite to Honorable Minister because he
I was about to say that कि सर को बुलाते हैं हम लोग एम्बेडकर में, ताकि आके हमारे बच्चों को, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स और फैकल्टी को एड्रेस करें। और जो इनके मंत्रालय की तरफ से इतना काम जो हो रहा है वो लोगों तक भी पहुंचे कि कितना अच्छा कार्य हो रहा है। और उससे क्या होगा, इनकरेजमेंट भी बहुत मिलेगा सबको। तो हमारा क्योंकि यूनिवर्सिटी का नाम ही डॉक्टर BR अम्बेडकर, भीमराव अम्बेडकर यूनिवर्सिटी है, तो बहुत रेलेवेंस आपकी मिनिस्ट्री का सर हो जाता है हमारे लिए। तो आपसे किसी अच्छे ओकेजन पे आपको बुलाते हैं सर, ताकि आप आके हमारे बच्चों को और फैकल्टी को बताएं कि ये मंत्रालय कितना अच्छा कार्य और कितना पूरे देश में हुआ। सर मैं एक स्टेज पे फेलोशिप के पैनल में आया करती थी मिनिस्ट्री में, कुछ साल पहले, कई साल आई हूँ सर मैं, जिसमें बच्चों को दिया जाते थे, स्कॉलरशिप देते थे बाहर पढ़ने के लिए।
स्कॉलरशिप देते हर साल 200 स्टूडेंट से ज्यादा स्टूडेंट को हम 40 लाख, 50 लाख, 70 लाख, 80 लाख जो ओवरसीज स्कॉलरशिप होती है।
हाँ जी, ओवरसीज स्कॉलरशिप की टीम में थी सर मैं पहले आया करती थी।
इनकम का प्रॉब्लम है, क्योंकि जिसके पिताजी को 40-50 हजार पेमेंट है, उनको मौका नहीं मिलता है। तो हम थोड़ा कोशिश कर रहे हैं भाई इसमें क्या हो सकता है। और अभी मैं ये आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि जो दिल्ली की बहुत ही अच्छी है ऑथर, जो दिल्ली की बहुत ही अच्छे ऑथर, उनका नाम है अनु सिंह लाथर।
बिल्कुल इंस्टेंट रहा सर।
ये कमाल का ट्रेट है सर का ये।
So thank you very much. I think we have some question and answer. We'll allow Honorable Minister to leave because there is a virtual rush outside, and he has been very patient, very kind. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of all the panelists, Aritra Group, Oswald Books, and Honorable Vice Chancellor. I thank you for joining us. We'll just take in 5 minutes. We'll conclude. There are some audience. They're asking some questions. We'll address them. Thank you very much for your guidance and blessings. Prasad sir, there is a question for you. Valentina K says that nearly 23 million people lost jobs due to COVID, according to CMI survey. CMIE survey. Can corporates take initiative to re-employ them?
I think, see, the issue is that millions have been affected. There is no doubt about it. And what we have seen is some of the larger corporates are able to absorb for some time. How long? It's very difficult depending on each company and the type of business they are in. But surely the SMEs and MSMEs have suffered a lot. And a lot of them, I'm sure, would have been forced to lay off. But the biggest loss of jobs has been in the unorganized sector. The unorganized sector mainly concerning infrastructure and everything, right from roadside vendors to. So this is something which is, it's a calamity which was not known to anyone. But I am very sure that the way corporates have reacted to the relief measures and whatever is their debt would surely do something to see that everything comes back, because it's all part of the economy. We need people. So if the economy has to go back. So yes, there has been an effect. And I just pray that we get out of it and get back to normal business.
So we have many participants. There is one Kalpana Menon from Rotary Club of Mumbai, Kandivali. Thank you so much for joining. Sanjay Hurial, thank you so much for joining. Sweta, Pooja, and Rakesh Singh. There are many other participants. Ma'am, there is one question that I got a message on my Facebook. What are some of those critical learnings, according to you, that we should go forward with from the COVID example? Now, often it was not very integral to the mainstream discourse or mainstream practice. It was more a ritual. I mean, you rightly said, Tatas have redefined the way it should be looked at. But for majority of corporates, it is more of a lip service. And especially now it has become a compulsion, if I may say so. But there are a large number of corporates who have shunned that old paradigm and come out of it and has done an incredible job of supporting. Like I said, Oswal Books, I'm afraid, where is Prashantji? Aritra Group, many of our corporate partners. So what are some of the learnings, ma'am, you would recommend that that should guide our the way we go ahead in future?
Yeah, Navneet, as I said, that we are not a giving society. That's very surprising, but that's true. We Indians are not very giving. When it comes to as a student, when we pass out and we become the alumnus of a university or a college or a school, if we can recall ourselves that how much have we given back to the institution we passed out from, the institution which gave us so much, but we do not give back. We do more for the religious purposes and not for the social cause. We can give a lot for in the name of the religion, but in the name of humanity and social responsibility, we need to learn a lot. We need to come a long, long way and learn lessons from the West, the way they do it. One of the studies from the Harvard Business School, since I come from the management background, I would like to share that the Indian students who pass out from the Harvard Business School, the business school complains that the Indian students do not go back and contribute in any manner. They do not even give back in terms of donations or in terms of contributions, which very liberally the people from that continent and from people from all over the world give. This is also true for some of the Southeast Asian countries. The students who go from here, they do not go back and connect to their business schools and organizations. As a society, we have not learned to give back. We believe as if giving back is something which is very great and it should happen once in my lifetime, or maybe a few times in our lifetime. The lessons we need to learn is that giving back is a way of life. We must sensitize our children, socialize them to be more sensitive, more emotional about societal needs. And that's how we need to give back every day, on the short term basis, on the long term basis, in whatever way we can do that. It may not be in cash alone, it can be in kind, it can be in so many ways we can do it. Yes, Navneet.
So true.
Wonderful. That's, I think, very. So we're about to wind up now. One, Mr. Prashant Mishra, he says, skill, manpower, and R&D, when will the two combine and deliver to surge ahead of China to become Atmanirbhar?
I think that is the dream and desire of every citizen of this country.
Of the country, yes.
Yeah, and I'm sure the way government decisions are taking place, but eventually, as Anu Singh has said, it is the people who can make the change. You know, government is just a facilitator. So if we have the desire to replace Chinese product, and in the past we have seen that India 20 years back, 30 years back, and what we are today. We have the capability, we have the government's facilitation. So I am sure in times to come, we would certainly, it is this whole episode has been a wake-up call for all of us. And I think it's an opportunity which we need to grab. It cannot happen overnight, all of us know that. These things take quite a few years. But I'm very sure that in times to come, we will start seeing changes which we have to do as individuals, entrepreneurs. Government will do its bit, but I think the onus lies on each one of us.
Great. I think with this, we come to an end of this third edition of webinar by Bureaucrats India. Bureaucrats India is an independent initiative to celebrate democracy, to celebrate the great work being done by bureaucrats across the country, but also deliberate on critical discourse. So we are soon going to launch a website where we think that because bureaucrats do not operate in silos, they are very much part. So there is a section on corporate, there is a section on politics, and we shall keep looking forward to your guidance and support in that. And like I said, it's not going to be an ordinary run-of-the-mill website, but a website which also has an offline presence by way of such webinars. I'm very glad to share that prior to this, 6 senior IAS officers and 6 senior IPS officers have addressed our previous 2 webinars. And what privilege that in our third webinar itself, one of the inaugural, we have Honorable Union Minister. Thank you so very much, all of you, Prasad sir, Professor Lathar, Prashant Jain, for making this such a graceful and delightful and insightful experience for all of us. I thank all the audience, about 50 odd of them, for joining. Some of them left after Honorable Minister left. And we have also been doing this on Facebook Live and on our other platforms, our partner agency, DCs of India, which has about 40,000 followers base. And thank you all so much. And we shall soon reconnect on some other equally compelling topic. Thank you and good evening. Good night.
Thanks, Dr. Navneet. It's been a pleasure.
Yes.